Hi, I'm Dave Spaulding from Handgun Combatives, LLC. If I ask you to think about firearms training or handgun training, I'm willing to bet you the first thing that will pop into your mind is shooting at, well, a flat target, because that is conventional square range training. And it's fine to introduce or to master those essential skills like, grip and body position, drawing from a holster, because you do want to deliver the gun where you're looking. Flat piece of paper works great for that. But when we start moving away from those basic skills, those essential skills, and we start moving into the combative aspects of training, we're going to have to start dealing with a three-dimensional world because, quite frankly, people aren't flat. And this may sound like a trivial thing, but I've got several instances in my personal files where police officers have been involved in gun battles and they have wasted time trying to move around to the front of the target because this is the only view they've ever shot at. It's really kind of an interesting phenomenon because if you talk to a hunter, hunters talk all the time about getting shots into the shoulder of the animal and stuff like that. But when we're talking about dealing with probably nature's worst adversary, the human being, we only practice flat. So we've got to talk about dealing three-dimensionally, and the only way to really do that is to introduce a humanoid-shaped target. Now, this is a pretty elaborate one that looks really good. There's other ones that are basically, pieces of square cardboard that you can make square and put t-shirts over. All that stuff's fine, as long as it's something beyond just shooting at a flat piece of paper. Let me give you an example. If I wanted to incapacitate this person straight on, we would try to get that high chest area, that pumping station, thoracic cavity, where the heart, all the major vessels are at, entry to the lungs. That's the best incapacitating shot you can get with a handgun, minus the skull, which is a smaller target. So we normally recommend going to the chest cavity. However, if I was shooting at him over at this angle and I delivered my shots here to the center of the target, if we took it into a 3D world, all I'd really be doing is just taking hunks of meat off the side of this guy's chest. If we tried to train on this flat piece of paper, making it three-dimensional, my shots should really be over here. Now, before I give you license to suck, that's not going to work. I mean, because people are going to say, oh, look, my shot's over here. I really was trying to go that direction. That doesn't work. What we have to do is we have to start incorporating not only movement, but movement on three-dimensional targets. Now, this target right here from Law Enforcement Targets, as you can see, we've already got several hits right here. And on this one, this plastic, this molded plastic, you can always see the bullet path going in here. These shots right here on a piece of paper would look terrible. But on this target right here, as you can see, they're going right through the heart and the major vessels. So this is a totally different aiming point than what we have over here, but it's also a very, very valid. Matter of fact, those are extremely accurate shots. And if this was one of my students, I would be really pleased. If I was standing over there, they may be coming through the shoulder blade. So you got to keep in mind the three-dimensional aspects, and we have to train that. To take this a step further, we may be having to move off the line of target. And when you are dealing in critical space, that double arm's length, extreme close quarter shooting, dealing with this type of target and rapid aggressive movement to the side, well, you know what? That's the kind of training we need before we step up to the interactive training where we're actually using airsoft or simunitions or maybe some sort of an electronic simulator, 360-degree type stuff in a shoot house. This is the first step to that high level of training. And the downside is that you can't stop here. You've got to work your way up through this into the interactive aspects. If you don't, then you're not properly trained in the combative application of the firearm.
Pantio.